Hey everybody, welcome to the ASS Podcast. That's the Animation Success Stories Podcast. If you've never joined us before, if this is your first time watching, what we do here is we talk to people in the animation industry. They tell us their stories, how they got to where they are, the hurdles they needed to jump, and the mountains they needed to climb, and the rivers they needed to traverse in order to end up in the position they are currently in. That's usually how it goes. Today we are talking to Juan Meza-leon right over here.
Yay!
He, of course, is a director on Rick and Morty Season 3 and also Season 2. We're going to find out where he started, how he got his humble beginnings, and how he ended up where he is now. I always start off the interview kind of the same way we all kind of started off by asking, what got you interested in animation in the first place?
What was your very first memory?
First animation memory.
Animation memory? Oh my God!
Well, what got you knowing that you wanted to be in this?
Well, actually, I fell in animation sort of by accident.
Tell us how.
Tell us how. Well, okay, yes, I've always been interested. Animation. Yes, I grew up with animation, like way back in. We got to go back into the way back machine. Back in 19-something or other.
19-something or other.
Something, yeah, 1980.
Yeah, another person
good
that
year.
does not
The
want
80s.
to tell
An
us
80s
how
kid.
old
Yeah,
he
yeah.
is.
I grew up in the 80s. All right, so whatever. So we got cable down in Mexico, so where I grew up. So I got introduced to the Disney Channel. The Disney Channel back in the 80s was actually really good.
Yay!
It was really good. It was none of these, whatever it is now.
No commercial. It was like HBO. There were no commercials.
There was no commercial. It was actually like a bunch of cartoons.
Bunch of
All
shorts.
day, 24 hours, the classic stuff. That's how I got to learn about classic music, actually.
Oh, cool.
Through those classic cartoons, something that today's cartoons don't have at all. They don't have any Beethoven. They don't have any of that
Yeah, like
at all.
the Bach and Johann Sebastian
Yeah.
Bach. Yeah.
Yeah, like
Bugs
Ren
Bunny.
and Stimpy was
He
like the
just
last
said
one to do
this.
that.
Bugs Bunny had all this amazing
Classic
music.
Yeah.
We're so educated in
But
music.
the whole thing about those cartoons is that, like Tom and Jerry, for example, you could tell a whole story without a word of dialogue. And that's something that those cartoons really had. Something that today that's just, I don't know, that's just...
It's lost.
It's...
Yeah.
In a way, it kind of is, because it's just constantly just jibber jabber, which is fine. I mean, you know. But there's something about those cartoons that really actually took the time to really get you involved in them, because you actually had to pay attention. You know, because there was
You had
no
to watch.
dialogue.
Yeah.
You know, you had to like really follow a whole bunch of visuals and stuff like that.
Nice.
So that was interesting.
So that's like your first cartoon memory is like watching those early cartoons with those beautiful music scores behind
Yeah.
them as a little kid in Mexico.
Yes.
In Mexico.
Yeah, that was it.
Where in Mexico did you grow up?
Ensenada, Mexico. Baja
Ensenada,
California.
Mexico. Baja California.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cool,
It's
cool,
not too
cool.
far.
Yeah.
No, it's not too far.
Yeah.
A few hours from here.
Nice,
You can
man.
make it on a weekend. And come back.
He
And-
does all the time.
Fish tacos.
So did you think as a kid
And also
that
Hawaii.
you wanted to work in animation, or
Sorry?
did you think as a kid you wanted to work in animation, or did you think you wanted to work in film, or what did you want to do as a little
Both.
kid? You wanted to work
Both.
in
I
yeah.
just wanted to be involved in the whole medium of that.
Storytelling.
Storytelling. You know, and inspiring people and creating the same sensations that I had when I was watching that. You know, you there's a certain, I don't know, there's a certain magic, you know, to sound corny, that transports you to somewhere else.
Sure. Yeah.
And then you come back, and hopefully, if it's deep enough or inspired enough or well done enough, you'll come back with a different perspective on something. Yes.
As a child, what was your favorite animated TV show and your favorite comic?
My favorite comic.
Yeah, because I know you're a comic book.
Oh
fan.
man.
Comic
See,
book
that's
series.
a tough one. That's a tough one. It's like saying, "What's your favorite movie?"
Yeah. So
Or
many.
What's your You know what? Because they're all special in their own way.
Okay, but just choose one for now. It's okay. The others will forgive you.
Right.
You can change it or
kidding.
you can amend it later.
Whatever. Editing, guys. Let's edit this. Well, as far as cartoons,
Yeah.
again in the 80s. So, oh my God, there's so much.
Name two if you really feel that bad.
Oh, right off the bat, boom. Okay, we got Thundercats, we got
Okay.
Ghostbusters, we
Okay.
got Silverhawks, we
Okay.
got
All
All right.
you know, all of the tops, Fox Afternoon,
Yeah.
you
Okay.
know, Even the Disney shit.
How about
sorry, kids.
You're
Disney
allowed
stuff.
to
How
swear.
about
You're-
comic books? Like
Comic
book
books.
series. What was your favorite top 3 comic book series?
Well, I grew up reading both DC and Marvel. So from DC, Batman, obviously. Fuck Superman. and then we have for Marvel we got Spiderman and X-Men. I always identify with sort of like the outsider characters.
Okay.
For sure.
Spider-Man is very cool and everything, but at the end of the day, he's a little bit of an outsider himself.
Yeah.
And obviously the X-Men, more than the Avengers, because the Avengers, everybody wants to be
Now.
the Avengers friends,
Exactly.
it's like,
A bunch of conformists.
yeah, exactly.
The X-Men are the
There's a guy
cool ones.
running around wearing a flag, by the way. Fuck that. So I'm more about the X-Men, who are the outsiders. They hate it,
Okay.
So
they're
yeah.
they're kind of shunned by society.
Yeah.
People don't revere them. They don't cheer for them. They're like, fuck you guys.
Yeah, they hate them, and they judge them, and they shun them just for who they are, and that's something that I can identify with.
Very cool. And did you read this consistently from the time you were a kid up until high school, up until college?
So now.
Till now?
I still do.
Nice. Cool. That's great.
Although the Batman stuff and the X-Men have changed so much, but the spirit's still there. I mean, Batman has a son now. What the hell?
Yeah, fairly interesting.
whatever.
Yeah,
No,
but
it's
the spine.
Damien, by the way.
Damien.
Yeah, like the Omen.
Damian
the
Wayne.
spine.
Damian Wayne.
Yeah,
Ah.
spoiler alert, son with
Oh
Talia.
shit. Yeah.
It's not really a spoiler. I mean, that's been a thing in the comics for like the last.
Yeah, they
15
all die
years.
and come back
Yeah.
and so on.
I don't keep up.
Whatever.
They've
Jason
done-
Todd is
they've
alive.
Done, yeah, they've done animated movies based on this stuff.
That's good.
too.
You got to keep the franchise going.
You got it. You
Money,
gotta
money,
keep it
money.
going.
So, did you have growing up, like during your school years, did you take any art classes, or like what did you do to actually dedicate time to draw?
Well, that's it. You just got to dedicate time to draw.
So you didn't have any art classes or anything. You just drew
Well,
mostly on your own time.
I did during high school. During high school, there was this, I guess you would call it technical drawing, industrial drawing,
Okay.
industrial technical drawing, whatever. The equivalent to that here.
Kind of like vehicles, cars, ships.
Architecture?
Perspective.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
how from one line, you can, do a whole design, and from there a curve comes out, and
Yeah.
very technical. So a lot of compasses and rulers.
Yeah,
and-
architectural and stuff.
yeah, rudimentary. A lot
Yeah,
of.
it's not going there with like fucking charcoal and like stuff like that.
No.
you know.
But if you look at the patterns that they make you design or understand, is very sacred geometry kind of stuff.
Oh, cool.
We're
Yeah.
getting into that.
We're gonna
No, we're not gonna get into
We're gonna
that.
start unlocking our pineal gland.
But anyways,
Conspiracy
there's a lot of that industrial
theories.
stuff where it's just perspective and a lot of geometrical shapes and
Cool.
a lot of
And that was
stuff.
that was your first art class in high
Well-
school. The GMP.
Well, the thing that I like about that class is that there was every so often if you could turn in a certain amount of work, you had an open theme, a free theme element.
Like on Friday.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
for example,
I
okay,
had
this
that
kid
too.
gotta turned everything in. He gets to have a day where he can draw whatever the hell he wants.
nice.
And those were my days.
That's so sad.
That's
Why?
Actually, that's
well,
kind of
because
a
it's
cool
like
way
you
to do
can't
things.
draw whatever you want otherwise.
You had to earn it,
gotta
man.
learn
You gotta
that
earn
stuff.
it.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
You gotta earn. That's something. That's something that is lost. You gotta earn that shit, man.
No, nothing's given to you free.
Yeah, it's like
It's
here. You're
kids
just
say-
because you're born here.
Yeah, kids say
Fuck
they
you.
just draw all the things they love, and it's just like, no, learn the basics and the foundations, then you can draw the things you
You
love.
gotta
and
go
it'll
through
make
the
your stuff
struggle a
better.
little bit.
Yeah, for sure.
Fucking
That's
old
kinda
man.
Cool. What did you draw in those days? What was your thing when they were like, oh, you did your assignments one, go crazy, man.
Anything and everything,
Yeah.
all the stuff that we just talked about. The turtles, the Ghostbusters, the this and that,
Okay.
all that stuff, because that's where I learn.
G.I. Joe, Transformers.
Yeah,
there we go.
Transformers, of course. G.I. Joe. I mean, the G.I. Joe movie.
Yeah.
I
Like,
mean,
I saw the Transformers movie. I remember seeing that in theaters. Like the
Wow.
first one, yeah. I didn't see the G.I. Joe
got
one,
me.
but I saw it later, like when I was like younger.
I only saw it on VHS.
Me too,
Back
I
in the
saw
day when there
VHS.
were VHS stores. Remember those?
Yeah,
I
totally.
loved. I think there's one by Magnolia now that just opened up that is kind of like old
Well,
school like
we
that.
still got like DVD or Video Odyssey. That's still around. They have
Yes.
they have VHS and DVD.
Yes. Well, it's again that's the other thing about storytelling because it's all connected. It's all the same thing. With movies also, I also was very interested in movies and all sorts of movies and the wacky stuff and the really deep epic stuff and not so much the romantic comedy stuff, but comedies, yes.
Comedies, yes.
I like comedies.
No. So the days that you got to draw what you wanted to draw, and you were kind of honing in your skill, did you have like the skills of an artist from the beginning, or is that something you needed to work through high school, or were you like gifted immediately?
Well, when you look back at those drawings, they look a little bit wonky and a little off.
But did others see that potential?
Others
in you?
saw.
Yeah,
There you go.
Yeah, because
Damn.
it's something that you would just do because you had fun doing it.
Did your mother encourage you?
Yes, because it comes from my mom's side. Actually, my mom has an artistic skill, and it comes from my grandma. Everybody in my family has some sort of something, either in art like drawing or stuff like that, or music. Mostly music, actually. I wish I had more musical
I'm sure
stuff.
you can hold a note.
I guess so.
More musical stuff.
Yeah. Like there's drummers, there's guitarists,
It's in your
bass
blood.
players.
If you actually dedicated time to it, I'm sure you would have that skill.
Yeah, the same
But
as
you
this,
Yeah, you dedicated time to one other type of art. So
Yes,
So
for sure.
So when did you realize that you wanted to kind of go into the arts as a career and make money from it, or was that something you fell into? 'Cause I know
where
you
did
started.
it all begin?
From what you told us, you started as a set PA in Mexico, right?
Yes, I started as a set PA.
Go through the movies that he's worked on because they're pretty cool.
They are pretty cool. I mean, these are some high-profile movies. You were on what, Deep Blue Sea?
Deep Blue Sea.
Deep Blue
You were
Sea.
in Kung Pao
Kung
into the Fist.
Pao!
Kids, you don't remember any
Deep
of
Blue
that.
Sea.
I
Kung Pao
remember.
to the Fist?
Okay, first of all, Deep Blue Sea gave
Here
me
we go.
nightmares because I was a
She
kid
got
when I
nightmares
watched
from
it.
Deep Blue Sea.
Yes.
Sam Jackson died.
All of,
Wasn't
all
there
of the
like
sharks,
a song
all the
about
sharks?
like my hat is like a shark's
Kung
fin?
LL
Pao.
Cool J.
Blue.
Kung
my hat is
Pao
like a
had a
shark's
special
fin.
place in my heart because growing up, like nobody ever knew like what that movie was until like I told them to watch it. And then whenever I did find somebody that watched that movie, I went nuts, and then I would fan out over the movie with that person.
It's a parody. It's screwball parody.
Yeah,
Hilarious.
it's the best movie ever.
Steve Waterkirk movie, parody of a 1970s kung fu movie.
And
Yeah, they shut it down there in Mexico. Yeah.
He said that like he was actually in a few scenes, like his body parts.
I'm not my body parts.
Yeah, like
Ooh, what
Like-
body parts?
Oh, the
What-
censored
your
stuff.
Foot, your foot.
All the
your
blurred
arm.
out stuff.
I haven't seen that movie since college, so I probably know where your body
We should
parts
mention.
are.
Was
He
it-
What?
Was, he was Black Betty's like foot double or something, right? What
Black
was it?
Betty.
Well, it's because they did a lot of second photography, like third photography or whatever, which is like inserts stuff of second unit stuff that's already been shot, and they needed to have more cutaways and stuff. So it was a very minimal crew at that stage, and
Yeah.
it was just like maybe 2 weeks of shooting. So it was
That's quick.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
quick. So I
2
was
weeks of shooting.
well, it's because it's just pickup shots.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
just little insert shots that you don't need an entire crew for. You
Yeah.
know, it's like a little school assignment, for example, where it's just like the insert of a foot or a close up on the chosen one, Steve, and behind him you see a couple of guys standing guard that needs to match to the shot that they
Yeah,
need to
yeah.
cut into. So I would like stand back there so you would see like my arm. Or that would be like my foot laughing with blood.
That's
Um,
That's pretty neat.
Steve did the Thumb Wars characters, right?
Yes,
And
the
he
thumb
also
wars.
did
Oh, the
Jimmy
thumb,
Neutron,
the
didn't he?
thumb.
Did he
Thumb
do Jimmy
series.
Neutron too?
Yes,
He was the creator of Jimmy Neutron.
and
Snap,
back
I
at the
didn't know
barnyard.
this.
yeah, back at the barnyard.
Back at the barnyard, the movie, and
Okay, I
in
knew
the
he did
series.
Barnyard. I didn't put two and two together with Jimmy Neutron. So
yeah,
I'm
Jimmy
gonna read for
Neutron,
that,
and
yeah.
that itself had a spin-off.
Neutron.
The show, the Sheen show.
Yeah, the little Hispanic kid with the
Yeah,
helmet,
Planet Sheen.
Planet Sheen. Yeah, they had a production studio down there called Omation in San Clemente, I think, or San Clemente, should I say? It's like those newscasters that say Nicaragua really well.
San Clemente.
See, San Clemente.
Juan, thanks for being here, man.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That was a fun ride for sure.
Thank you for the buzz balls.
Yeah, give it up.
We're
for
gonna
Juan,
go live in a
everybody.
moment with you guys.
We're gonna go live in a minute, but by the
They-
time you watch this,
they won't know that.
that would be a long time
Yeah,
ago.
they won't know that.
It will be fully edited.
We'll see.
But check out
We'll
next time. Watch our Twitter or whatever Instagram.
Twitter,
that we'll announce when
Instagram,
we're going live.
Tumblr,
Yeah, for sure.
YouTube, Facebook. We
Whatever.
have it all.
All that
And then
shit.
we're getting in iTunes soon, I promise. Oh, before we close out, There's a middle school that I got in touch with that we might actually go and like speak at. So if any of you guys are in high school or middle school or whatever right now, you want us to go come and speak to your school, let us know. We will set something up with you guys, and we'll have an event with you guys. I didn't even talk to you guys about this yet, so I will talk to you guys.
We talked to.
No, this is something here, local. Oh. So it's actually my middle school. That I went to.
Cool.
Yeah, I have a friend that actually is teaching there now. So it's great.
Neato.
Well, thanks everybody. Thanks for watching, and Juan, thanks for bringing us such amazing Rick and Morty episodes and everything you've done. We'll see you guys next time in the ass. Peace.
Peace.